The Predators in Apex Legends are gatekeeping the most important tips to destroying lobbies over and over. But I'm going to reveal to you how exactly they play so you can stomp them when they 3-stack their way into your pubs. The first rule you need to remember in keeping that brain of yours is Apex Legends is a damage game. Yes, this is what really matters in terms of fights, but not how you think. The amount of damage you and your buddies do or take dictates how aggressive and how defensive you can play in a game. So yes, damage is king. To utilize damage correctly, you're going to want to start your fight with entry damage. The easiest weapons for this are ARs and the cringe marksman and sniper rifle. When you go to get your damage and if the enemy hasn't seen you yet or smelt your dirty ass swamp ass a mile away, then wait until they expose more of themselves before you shoot your weapon. This way you can maximize as much damage as you can get while they aren't shooting. Just being a little patient can increase your entry damage from 50 to a whole crack or not. But sometimes when trying to get entry damage, the enemy already knows that you're there. Well, then you're going to have to try and get damage without taking as much in return. To do this, you have to learn how to peek effectively so you don't trade or take too much damage in return. But don't worry, little bro, I got you. But I'll tell you later how to do that. After you've gotten your entry damage, you need to keep up the pressure on your enemy by stopping him from healing with nades, pushing towards the low player / team. It's important to know that you push towards them by moving from cover to cover to not take any damage in return. Using your abilities would be a good idea at this time as they can help you push safely without taking too much damage. While you push up from cover to cover, section off the enemies one by one with the cover. Just try to make the lowest one showing if you can, and only the lowest one. That way you can continue to pressure them without taking damage from the other two. Then get the kill and repeat the process. Are you starting to see how damage determines what you should do in a situation? I hope so. What's an even greater way to push is to get high ground, because it's great for keeping pressure without taking damage in return. Just super easy. Abusing head glitches while doing damage will make sure your damage output is greater than your intake. And yes, if you have high ground, you always have a head glitch. But a question you might be thinking, what if you didn't end up getting a big number of damage to let you push in the first place? Well, let's treat the damage as a guide on how fast you can push or how slowly you should push. The lower the number of positive damage you have over the opponent, the slower you push. The greater the number, the faster you should push. But do it how I told you to. Do not run in a straight line like a headless chicken. Please, for the love of God, bro. But this simple foundation of fighting is how Preds are killing you and the lobby so quickly. This is also how you get those easy 4K and 10-10-10 badges in raid. Sometimes you make mistakes when fighting and you end up having negative damage ratio in the fight, meaning they did more damage to you than you did to them. Well, now it's time to play defensive. And I'm not talking about how grown men camp on mountaintops with snipers and 30-30 somewhere. We don't do that cringe shit here. I'm talking about how you react to when you or one of your teammates takes way too much damage. Your first step is to make space from your opponent so you actually have time to heal. So many people just heal in the same spot when they had room to back up. I really don't understand what people are thinking. Especially when you have teammates to play off of. Like, bro, don't be stupid. People who crack you will push you. While you back up to heal, your teammates should be looking to punish any mistakes the opposing team does while trying to push you. Sometimes you have those teammates that hide too when you get cracked, even though they're full health. When this happens, you either need to yell at them and tell them what to do, or just click on their name
whatever person
and
you want to block
them and never play with their ass again. But if your teammate is the one who took too much damage, make them run back. Even if they can't back up anymore, you still have to hold for them while the other team pushes. This also holds even if you're a solo. Try to make space, and if you don't have time to heal, notice their bad pushes and get quick, safe damage by sky nades or just shooting when they aren't shooting you. This is key to defensive fighting. Be creative with it. If you're Wraith, just make a portal off a cliff while they're chasing you, then take it back so they chase you through it. The enemy will come out falling in a straight line. This will legit be the easiest knock of your life. Or if they're running at you brain dead in a straight line, just take quick peeks at them for some damage before they even have a chance to shoot you. They can't run and shoot at the same time. A lot of defensive fighting involves forcing mistakes or noticing mistakes then capitalizing off them with safe damage. To truly master Apex Legends fights, you need to be able to switch between aggressive and defensive fighting at will. Then Apex Legends will be fully under your control. There's no way you'll lose. How you play should always depend on the situation, and you can determine situations based on the amount of damage taken or output. But make choices fast and don't hesitate, or it will cost you your entire game. In the end, damage is king. It's like a compass or a line graph that tells you how exactly to play. The more positive the damage, the more aggressive you can be. The more negative the damage, the more defensive you should be. But of course, this is only a guideline. As you play, you'll be able to tell what situation calls for what. But remember I said I would tell you how to peek effectively so you can get more positive damage? Don't worry, I didn't forget about that, so listen up. There are two types of peeks in Apex Legends. There's head glitching on height or any head glitch object, then there is peeking to the side of a piece of cover. The best types of peeks are the most unpredictable ones that will let you take the least amount of damage but do the most. For example, when peeking from the side, don't peek at an angle that they're already pre-aiming. You can quickly peek from one side, then go back into cover, then peek a second later than your opponent thinks, and just full swing the other. But keep in mind, when peeking, the longer you're exposed to the enemy, the longer of chance the enemy has to shoot you. Everything is situational. So remember, it's up to you to figure out when to implement these things. It's also helpful to peek pre-aiming your crosshair through the cover to where you think your enemy is. This way, you'll always get the shot off first or as fast as possible so you don't have to adjust your crosshair.